First of all, I want to dispel the myth that credit card debt is the worst thing in the world. It isn't what causes bankruptcies. It happens slowly over a period of time, but it is a huge drain on your money. You're shelling out money, usually at a fairly high interest rate. So the way to work your way out of credit card debt is, number one, the best way to get out of the hole is to stop digging. This credit card got this high because I kept charging on it. And discipline yourself one way or another. I'm not a fan of cutting up cards. We're adults. We can figure out how to manage that credit card without cutting it up. Make sure that every month you pay that card down a little bit, whatever you can, so don't compromise your security, but just begin to pay that card down. Begin paying more and more off of that credit card, and you'll see the balance coming down. Money going out, your cash flow going out, the obligations that you have is a measure of risk. And if you've got a $100 credit card payment, that's riskier to you than a $60 credit card payment going out. If your income was interrupted, it's easier to manage 60 than 100. So you want to drop those things. So that's the first rule. Quit digging so that you can get out of the hole. The next thing, people say, well, I've got 5 credit cards, I've got 3 credit cards, which one do I pick? The simplistic way of looking at this is which one's got the highest interest rate. Which one is right up at the edge. If you're worried about your credit report, you want to pay them down to, at least down to 70% of the credit line. And then finally, if you're really over your head, even if you're not, I suppose, if you've got a pretty strong history of paying your cards on time, and you've got a decent credit score, which you will have if you paid your debts on time, and you've got a card at 18%, call up your credit card people at customer service and say, I cut this card, I'm a loyal customer of yours, I always make my payments on time, you're charging me 18%. Let's say we're at Chase Bank. Over at Wells Fargo, they said they'd give me one. I get this thing in the mail. It says they'll give me one for a 12%, and matter of fact, I don't have any interest to pay at all for 6 months. Tell me why I shouldn't be going over there. And they do have the latitude to say, yeah, we want to keep you, Rick. We want to keep you in the fold. We're going to stop charging you 18%. We're going to drop it down to 14%. As a matter of fact, we're going to, waive a month's worth of interest or whatever it is. They all have their own playbook that they work from. But if you're truly over your head or you just have large balances, it's worth a phone call. One phone call, you end up going from 18 down to 14%, something in that range. And they won't all do it, but it's worth negotiating that kind of thing. So those are 3 tips, really. Stop digging, pay the highest interest rate card off first, and negotiate the rates down a little bit. Any of you that are familiar with RenaFi, you know that we look at behavioral aspects of finance. Why are we doing certain things as opposed to what are we doing? For more resources, check out the RenaFi membership.